Hi, and we are live. This is praios, and I'm a professional gambler. Sorry for the very small delay. Today we will talk about 5 mistakes you are making. Maybe I make them too. We again take a video from the entrepreneur and great poker player Phil Galfond, and yeah, we will see what the 5 mistakes are, which we are potentially making. Maybe I can add some. I will also give you my opinion on what he says. He's an intelligent guy, so I expect a lot of good input. Yeah. If you are watching for the first time, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, all this good stuff. And yeah, I don't know if you recognized already. Maybe not, especially not if you are watching for the first time. I am currently in a big battle with PokerStars, and yeah, they have more than 120k euro of mine and not paying it out for unknown reasons, and they also stopped communicating to me. So I have to try to put public attention to this issue, and yeah, maybe a shitstorm can help to get my money finally. So it would be very appreciated if you could help me. Yeah, could help me, for example, watching the video about it so that you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, I will throw a tweet at stars once a day, and yeah, would be very helpful if you could retweet and yeah, show other players how they behave. And yeah, this would also not benefit me only. If you are also playing on stars, if they see that they cannot get through with such a behavior, they will also stop from doing this in the future. So if you vote, so this will lower the chance that you will get scammed from stars as well. So most of it is helping me, but yeah, a bit is also helping you. Yeah, as this is out of the way, let's get into it. Yeah, let's listen to what Phil Galfond has to say.
Hello, everybody. Phil here. So a popular YouTube video format is a top 5 video. Top 5, whatever. The thing about top 5 videos are that, people like them because they're looking for a shortcut generally to figure something else out. Some are educational, some are valuable. A lot of them I think are kind of a waste of time, frankly.
I hope that yours are not a waste of time, but looks like you are not that well prepared. You are stumbling a bit. Yeah, seems like your thoughts are not articulated this well yet. You should think through the things you want to say first, or maybe have a letter with some bullet points which you can go through. But let's see if this will get better.
So what I'm going to do today is waste some of your time. We've come up with a way to.
He's lowering expectations already and coming up with excuses. Yeah, but I guess this was also a joke.
To make a top 5 video that is in a format that I don't hate. And the way it's going to work is my friend and producer Thomas is going to just throw top 5 list titles my way, and I'm gonna have to come up with a list on the fly, and I will do my best to
all this works like it's on the fly. Okay,
make it somewhat educational or interesting, but no promises. So without further ado, here is the top 5.
Need someone who produces these great intros for me too, at best for free.
All right, Phil. So top 5 poker mistakes you're making.
Okay, that's not that bad of a top 5. That's a pretty good top 5. So top 5 poker mistakes you're making. Number 1 is easy. Number 1 is you're not thinking about why you make the plays that you make. So perhaps you read a pre-flop chart and it's
I think that's actually not too bad. You can, I mean, if you just have a pre-flop chart and know what to do with what habit chant is, don't see an issue with just doing stuff, or maybe looking into the solver, learning what he wants to do without understanding. I don't see any issue with that. But yeah, obviously, if you also understand the thing, it's way easier to remember, because when you got the logic, you, even if you forget, you probably can again get to the right solution. And if you don't have the logic, yeah, that's a problem.
says, you know, open ace jack plus from this position and pocket nines are better, and king queen suit, whatever. And you're doing that, and then you get to the flop and you flop a pair and you just bet. And then the turn comes and you just bet. And if I sat you down and asked you, you know, why did you bet the flop? You'd say, well, because I had top pair, or well, because I raised pre-flop. And what's important is you start thinking about the purpose of all of your bets and raises, what they're trying to accomplish. And it goes back to pre-flop. The whole game starts pre-flop, and it starts from the blinds and or the antes. If there were no blinds or antes, there's no reason to play any hand that's not aces, which makes for a really boring game. Because
yeah, that's very easy advice. Use your brain while playing poker. I guess what he's trying to say is, this happens to me also from time to time, and especially if the sessions get longer, or if I play too many tables, I come to too robotic and just do like what's standard or standard. And yeah, you stop thinking things through, and this will hurt your win rate. If you just clicking buttons. I mean, many of the decisions will still be fine, but yeah, don't just do the standard thing. Just really think things through. And even if it also helps if something might feel like it's absolutely standard, to still rethink. And yeah, sometimes you actually come to a different conclusion than on first glance. I'm rambling as Phil. Oh man.
you can just wait for aces and never lose any money. But the blinds and antes give you something to fight over. So why you play a hand pre-flop is in part to win the blinds, and then to open with a range of hands that, because people are forced to fight for the blinds, they can defend hands that, you know, you can get value against, etc. Wow.
Yeah.
You know,
Oops.
top 5.
Shit, I was going to pause.
Making. Number one is that raise pre-flop. And then the turn comes and you just bet. And if I sat you down and asked you, you know, why did you bet?
Okay, that's about where we were. I was going to answer the question from chat. Yeah, Star's situation is still the same. Stars didn't said anything to me. Stars not paying out. Still can't access the casino. Yeah, no real news yet. Just one thing. I filled complaints with Ask Gamblers and Casino. How is it called? Casino Meister. And yeah, Casino Meister sent all the data into Stars, and Stars said, yeah, basically they said, we don't care. If he has a problem with us, he can feel free to complain with the MGA. Yeah, I tweeted at Stars once a day. Please retweet if you want to support me. But yeah, also my tweets were not answered. I guess many people tweet at Stars a day, and yeah, mine are just getting it ignored. Or as they can't say anything to defend themselves, and they are still searching for a stupid way. I mean, any excuse probably is welcome to steal my money. Yeah, they did not come up with anything yet, so they can't answer anything. not MGM, MGA, the Malta Gaming Authority. But yeah, probably related to them because they get the money from them, and they probably will not bite the hand from the people who feed them. And yeah, that's also my experience with the Malta Gambling Authority. Even if the case is crystal clear, if you talk to other people and they say, wow, how can they do that? They might often decide against you. So yeah. But I still like my chances here, I guess. I mean, they got nothing basically. My account also is not banned yet. I think I probably can still play poker and maybe sports bet. But on sports bet, I don't even make many bets, but I'm already only allowed to make very small bets. And yeah, on poker, I don't want to play poker, obviously. When I can't get the money out, what is the point about playing? I probably can transfer money, but this would be very unfair to the other guy of the equation. And I'm also not sure if they would allow that. But this also came to my mind, to transfer the money to someone else and do a trade against something. But yeah, probably get the other guy into trouble. And yeah, I will just try to get my money and don't do any tricks. Could probably also lose it to an accomplice on a poker table, but yeah, I'm not doing any of that. Just waiting for their final decision. It's now taking a month, and I expect it to take more weeks. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
A flop, you'd say, well, because I had top pair, or
I think with top pair always a good
because I raised
reasoning,
pre-flop.
especially in no-limit hold'em.
What's important is you start thinking.
And I think especially on lower stakes, just if you showed aggression before, continuing with the aggression often is key to success. At least back in the day, it worked, and the weaker your opponents, the better some basic strategies work out. But yeah, the more thinking and the more people are getting into game theory, this very easy rules are not working anymore.
About the purpose of all of your bets and raises, what they're trying to accomplish, and it goes back to pre-flop. The whole.
Yeah, if I swap on 2+2, probably. I mean, if Stars does the transfer, if I be honest to the guy who gets the money, he probably will charge quite a high amount because Stars obviously not only me might be in trouble, but he as well. I could try it without informing the other party, but I think that would be very unfair, and I wouldn't be any better than Stars, so I'm not doing it.
The whole game starts pre-flop, and it starts from the blinds and or the antes. If there were no blinds or antes, there's no reason to play any hand that's not aces, which makes for a really boring game because you can just wait for aces and never lose any money. But the blinds and antes give you something to fight over. So why you play a hand pre-flop is in part to win the blinds, and then to open with a range of hands that, because people are forced to fight for the blinds, they can defend hands that you can get value against, etc. Wow, there's a fly in here. I have to kill the fly.
No flies.
It's right on the mic too. All right, I'm gonna get a fly.
They don't even cut that out. But I mean, I have to admit, this is quite a bit funny at least.
Okay, so back to the question. I was talking about point one, which was think about why you're doing what you're doing. And I said starting from pre-flop, there's reasons for playing all the hands that you play. And then going on to post-flop, are you betting because you want to get value? You want to get called by a worse hand? Are you betting because you want to fold out a worse hand than yours, or a hand with equity against yours? And then as you progress through the hand, there are a lot of things to think about. And your thinking can start out on a beginner level. It'll get more advanced the more you play. But the important the most important thing is that you are thinking, and you could answer that question if I asked you, why did you do that? It doesn't matter at the beginning if your answers are terrible and your plays are terrible. If you're thinking about why you're doing what you're doing, you're on the path towards getting better. So that's one. Number two follows from one pretty closely, and it's you're not thinking about why your opponent is doing what they're doing. So a lot of people will, maybe they know, like, okay, this guy plays every hand. So you can get reads on your opponents, but go further than that. Think about why they're making the plays that they're making.
Oh yeah, he's talking. I mean, but that's not that game theory related, because if you just try to play GTO, you are not reacting basically what your opponent does. You just have the perfect strategy, and no one can exploit you, and then you follow this strategy no matter what. And if people divide from that strategy, they are doing worse than you do. Yeah, but I mean, poker is not only about game theory and playing game theory optimal. Yeah, and if you adjust to opponents, and if your opponents don't play perfectly, I guess he's talking about the leveling thing. So he thinks so this is also on another level. So that, yeah, think what your opponent thinks, and when your opponent thinks what you think, and you get one level higher and higher and higher, and yeah, he thinks what I think, but he thinks what I think. Yeah, okay.
And whether they are a strong player with a very conscious, logical thought process, or a weak player with, some kind of maybe base framework of a strategy, and then
yeah, I think what Robbie Expert is saying is absolutely right. Play close to GTO, or what do you think is GTO, against unknowns or good regulars, of which you think that they play a good strategy, and yeah, divide from that. When you found weaknesses in your opponent's game, or when you identified that he is way off GTO, you obviously have to adjust your strategy to be max EV against this certain opponent.
And a lot of emotional leaks that lead to their decisions. Or really, when you don't have a sound strategy, your decisions are ultimately guided by emotion, whether you know it or not. And so thinking about, this player is making this bet, what does he hope to accomplish? And why does he want to accomplish that? And from there, as you get more advanced, you think, okay, well, this just happened. I saw this player do this and this. So it seems like, maybe they're afraid to play a big pot with a marginal hand, or it seems like they're maybe really excited to bluff a lot. And so you can start to get a kind of a psychological profile is making it out to be more than it is. But that's what I came up with. So you're starting to build a psychological profile for these.
So he basically is saying that you start getting reads. Psychological profile. Never heard a poker player say anything like that before.
Unsubs. And that'll help you kind of figure out, why they're making the decisions they make as you go on, and how you can adjust to that. So that's 1 and 2. That was easy. 3. I guess I'll follow on from 2. 3 is that you're making decisions purely out of emotion. A lot of people make decisions out of fear. A lot of people make decisions out of comfort. I would say comfort is the number one reason.
You also shouldn't forget tilt. People lost a lot. They really very angry and trying desperately to chase the losses and make very suboptimal decisions.
We're moving on to the top 5 types of emotions that make people make bad plays. But comfort is the number one thing that kind of dictates the way that people play their hands, and people are comfortable with different things, and that's why it's important to get to know them. But a lot of people will, for example, overplay a good hand early because they're afraid of a scary turn card coming. when what they should do is, bet a smaller amount, perhaps slow play based on, what the board texture is and what the action is. And yes, that means they might end up losing the hand, because that scary card might come and it might improve their opponent. But mathematically, on average, what happens more often is that they gain more value when they have the best hand. And so there are a lot of things like that where people, just rush to make the comfortable play, whether it be, you know what, I have the best hand now, I'm going to take down the pot, and that's all I want. I just want to win the hand.
Yeah, you're primarily primal goal. I think this is correct. Should be to maximize your EV and not to take the easy route or to take the pot right now, make the hand easy to play. This is all bullshit. Maximize your EV always. Primarily goal. How? Rob, you're a native speaker, so what's your prime goal? Primarily goal? No, that sounds like wrong. Primarily is when you have a verb in front. So prime goal. I mean, you guys understand. Sorry for my bad English. And yeah, the native speakers are also confusing me now.
Or
this is like the fly alert in the Galfonds video. I will also not cut this out.
Or similarly, even if you're bluffing, like some people get really attached to raising and c-betting.
So the primary goal, so it should be. So now we got it right. So maximize your EV first and primary goal.
Or c-betting like middle pair when they should be checking because it's really comfortable to c-bet. They bet and their opponent calls, then they can kind of shut down. Their opponent raises, they can fold. Their opponent folds, great, they win the pot. But you're not accomplishing as much. You're not getting as much money from weaker hands, and you're not folding out any stronger hands. So try to become aware of your emotions and stop making plays strictly based on them. Number 4, you're playing outside of your means. A lot of people way underestimate variance in poker. And
although I think this is not that common anymore, at least not under pro players. People usually have their bankroll management and stick to it. At least this was what I always did. I also was like very much overrolled basically for every limit I played most of the time. And often it makes sense to play outside of your means, especially if there's a huge fish and a huge opportunity, but you have to be able to step down once you lost a certain amount, let's say like 2 stacks, 1 stack, whatever. Yeah, so taking shots still makes sense, but you have to be that much control, but you can still step down and go back to the limit you normally play, then the shot goes wrong. Yeah, but yeah, I think bankroll management is a very common concept and not that many people make this mistake, especially not the pros. I mean, there are some. I mean, think, Mike, like if I'm thinking like primary example, you learned that, is like Isildur, who always plays like the biggest limits no matter what his bankroll is. But yeah, can't think of many other pros who do so. And there are also like networks of players who share percentages if the game is very big. So if you play player A that's not rolled for it, he might have sold like 75% of the action to other guys, and that's very common in poker. Yeah, staking, it is easy club. Yeah, I think Phil Galfond needs to prepare better for these videos and not figuring it out on the fly or however it's called. I mean, he should make a good list before and then talk about the stuff, and not get the question the second before he makes this video. This is just not good quality content, and he's really wasting our time with this.
are playing games where they have a few buy-ins. And if you're playing recreationally and you're like, you know what, I'm going to the casino with $500, and if I lose it, I lose it, and that's only, you know, 1 buy-in to the game you want to play, 2 buy-ins to the game you want to play, that's fine. That's your decision. But if you want to play kind of longer term, whether it be semi-professionally or aspiring to be semi-professional and trying to break even for a while, you need to give some serious consideration to bankroll management. And essentially, you know, the long and short of it is you need a lot more money than you think you need to withstand variance, even if you're a favorite in the game. And rounding out the list, okay, number 5, you're caring too much about what other people think of you at the table.
What the fuck? Never heard this thing, and this also makes no sense at all.
A lot of people are embarrassed to make a river bluff.
Maybe this is in live poker, but he is an online poker pro primarily. I never thought about this, and probably no one else as well. So this is like, this is stupid.
That gets called and you know, look stupid, or embarrassed to, well, make a fold and get shown a bluff in front of everybody. Don't worry about people at the table judging how you play, especially if you're a good player. It's a good thing if people think you play badly. It's a great thing. People are going to make more mistakes against you. They're going to want to play with you more. And so you get more action. It's just, it's better if people have misinformation about how you play. Then, like, there's no value in them thinking you're great unless you happen to own a training site and teach people how to play poker. But generally,
yeah, if you have a training site and train people how to play poker, you should not make this on the fly videos with stupid points. At least think about the main 5 mistakes before making such a video. This is just not good. Sorry. You should go better prepared in your videos. This is just really wasting our time. I mean, in the beginning it was a joke, but you can do better, Phil. You are a very smart guy, an entrepreneur, having a poker site, having, what is his site called? Run It Twice? I should remember that. Run It Once? Run It Once it is. Yeah, Run It Once it is. Yeah. You can do better, Phil. This is not good.
generally speaking, you know, it's fine. It's fine if people think you're bad. Just embrace it and make the plays that you think you should make with no fear of judgment from other people, because what they think doesn't matter. It's your money.
I think making a bad play from time to time and getting caught is actually good, because people will get a certain image of you and think this guy is retarded and does stupid bluffs, and then they will call you light, and not only once but twice, 3 times, all the time, because they have the first impression, this guy is an idiot, he's bluffing too much, he's a maniac. So yeah, it can even be good when you do one spewy thing in the beginning where someone gets to know you, and then you might have a completely wrong impression of yours and play accordingly, and it's actually wrong. So this makes a lot more sense than what he's talking about.
Money to do with what you want.
Top 5 tips and tricks to never lose ever again.
Top 5 tips and tricks to never lose ever again, right? Okay. That's a bad one. I mean, it's basically don't play anything, and then you'll never lose ever again. And otherwise, you're out of
Actually, a good tip.
luck because you're going to lose.
I wonder how many... He has so many thumbs up for this. I mean...
Hey, this is Phil, and it is not...
If I would be a mean person, I would give him a a thumbs down, but yeah, I also always hate when someone does it under my video, so I will not do it as well. But yeah, this was not a good video by any means. I mean, maybe for beginners or something, but yeah, for no one who has got into the material a bit. So this was like just not a good video. Sorry, Phil. Yeah. Yeah, I think we are just 30 minutes in, but what was the last question? Let us go back. So let's see if I can come
Hello,
up
everybody.
with
Phil
an
here.
answer on the fly.
Some tricks to never lose ever again.
Okay. You could also play very long sessions until you are even again. Yeah, but that's obviously also a stupid tip, as stupid as never play again. So let me try to come up with 5 tips. Maybe chat can help as well for this situation. I think a very, very good tip is to game select well and always play in soft games. And this, if you do this and always have an edge, then it's already, you're also already a favorite to not lose. You should always be well prepared and do your homework. Study hard the game you are playing. And yeah, this will also decrease the chances of you losing again. Yeah. You should learn to control your emotions. This is tip 3, I think. Not sure if I can make tip 4 and 5. At least they stopped at this one. Although you can give some smart advice to this one. Another thing, you should always be... You should not... This is unusual, but not many people talk about it. You should be in like a neutral state. Not too happy and also not too angry, because this will change your game a lot. If you're angry, you will be tilting a lot faster, and this would cause you to lose more often. If you are too happy, this will probably also not lead to you playing the best you can. So should be in like neither too happy nor angry when starting to play. Oh, that's another one. But this is also like controlling your emotions. I mean, it has to do with it, but it could be counted as a separate trick. I would say you should quit when the... Oh yeah, that's a good one. Should quit once the game is not juicy anymore. I mean, also regardless if you are up or down. I mean, because yeah, this will also make your EV better. You are not a winner anymore in the new lineup where both fish went busto or left. Should quit. So yeah, I think this last part of the video might have been helpful actually. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, follow on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, bell notification, all this good stuff. And yeah, also please support me in my uphill battle against stars. Yeah, as I said already in the beginning, they are trying to scam me for more than 100,000 euros. And yeah, I will try to give as much public attention as possible to this. And you can help me by sharing the content about this scam. And yeah, I will tweet once a day against stars. And yeah, I will also publish content from time to time. Yeah, like, subscribe, share with your friends. Yeah, that was it. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.